Hey y'all. Okay, let's see how many times I have to restart this video. So I have a customer that asked me to make 18 journals, mini journals with fabric and 15 mini journals with painty paper covers. And so this is what I did this weekend. They're naked inside, so I don't really need to do a complete flip through, but you'll see what all the papers look like, because I made 17 of them so far, and then I need to make one more, and then I can box these up. I don't really want to decorate them too much because the prototypes that I showed her were just completely naked, but because I don't want to give them a completely naked journal, I am going to put a few stamps and stickers and, you know, some scraps, leftover scraps that I used to make the, well, actually, since this is fabric, I don't really have any scraps because the papers that are in there, I took one full sheet of paper and I tore it in half, and then I folded it in half. And so that's not the scraps that we're going to use. But I have everything out. Let me stand up and make sure that I'm in view here. Okay, so I have everything I absolutely need to put all this together, and my glue is over there. So when these 17 journals only took me 2 days, and I will show you why. So when I've come to the conclusion that it's easiest for me to find all the pieces. Oh, don't tell me I'm missing a piece. What happened? I am missing a piece. Okay. I need to put you on pause while I find that one piece. Oh, here it is. Okay. So I found it easier to cut everything and then get everything ready and then just do an assembly line. So like the 15, these are 2 pieces glued together of chipboard. And then the same thing with the spine, 2 pieces glued together. This is 5 3/4 tall by 4 1/2 wide. And this is 5 3/4 by 1 inch. So these papers here are just 1/8 of an inch smaller all the way around. And I don't know if you can tell, but that's actually crooked. But that's okay. And then we have this piece left over, which will be this part here going underneath on the front. So then once all these are cut, then I cut all these. Then I get all my papers and I cut them in half, and I have those paper clips on there because it's easier for me to fold them. I mean, to bind them in that way. But I just take all these and fold them in half, and then I have 2 signatures out of 10 pages. So these are all hand-dyed papers with various different things. Looks like mostly it's Rit dye. But there was one page in there that is blueberry. And then for my fabric, let me put that up. So this fabric here, I don't know if it's vintage or not, but I guess it's not directional. But I've had this a very long time, and it came in a grab bag. And so I tear that down to size. So this is approximately 12 1/2 by like 7 1/4 or something like this. No, well, this one's a little, this is closer to 8. But I think 12 1/2 by 7 1/2 would be good for that size. But because it's fabric, and some of the fabrics that I use for see-through, I put this muslin on there too, and so I tore all these to match. So this is how I put it together. And then this piece goes for the spine on the inside. So I don't keep this big enough to make that fold over the edges because that's just too much bulk. So this is how we're going to do this. We're going to get an approximate right there. And then we're just going to start gluing. And also I noticed that not all of these are exact, like especially the front and back panel. I don't know if it's because I was tired or what I was doing. And we need to squish this glue out so it doesn't bleed through. But some of the covers ended up to be just slightly off. And so we want to make sure that's not crooked. Okay, and then we got our skewer here. Let me see if I can show you on this one. No, of course, that one's perfect. Okay, see, I don't know if you can see that right there. It's not exactly the same. And so I'm going to be cutting around this muslin with a rotary cutter, and I don't want that up because then it will make my rotary blade go off. And so I'm going to make sure that that part is face down and the complete square part is facing up so my rotary cutter won't run over it. And then because I did have that happen on another one, I put the wrong side down, and so the piece that was not completely the same size, my rotary cutter just chewed up that one corner there. Okay, and we're going to line that up. And then we're going to flip this way. Yeah, it did bleed through a little bit, but I'm not really concerned about that because you're not going to be able to see it. The muslin is just for, well, for some of them, like this one, I think was a little see-through. This one was definitely see-through. This is very thin fabric. And that way I didn't have to paint or cover these with gesso or anything, which I've actually done that before, and I didn't like the way the gesso looked because you could still see it through the fabric, and so I had to scrap that. But that was done actually a while ago, so okay, squish that down so we don't get any or minimal bleed through. And it doesn't matter if the glue is all the way to the edges because we're cutting those pieces off, and since it will be covered with another piece of fabric, it's not going to matter. Okay. Get the glue off my fingers. And so we're just going to take, this is actually a quilting grid ruler, and I like this one because it's got, I don't know how to explain it, but the bottom surface is made so it doesn't move when you're pressing down on it. And I do save these because you can use them as tag toppers. And if you hear snoring, that's my dog Twiggy. She has her bed is right directly underneath my table here. And when Mama's crafting, Twiggy's snoring. And so I have a ton of these. And actually what I think I'm going to do with these cutoffs is probably dye them so they're, or you could stamp on them too, actually, with your stamps. Okay, there we go. Always make sure you close your cutting tools. Okay, so now this piece gets turned upside down. This is the easiest way I've found to put the fabric covers on, and you want to make sure that there's no little straggly pieces of thread, because the thread you'll be able to feel that through the cover when you're holding it in your hands. Okay. And this is really kind of messy, but as long as you're getting the glue off your finger in a timely manner, it comes off pretty good, right? You just roll it between your hands here. But this glue is a little old. It is my last bottle though. So like this here, where's my tweezers? Okay, well, I don't see my little black tweezers, but this right here, I know that doesn't seem very big. However, if you don't take those off, even though it may seem so small, you're gonna feel it in your hand if you don't move it or take it off that. And so I have an engagement that I do every Monday night, and so I've been trying to rearrange my craft room storage because it's really not working for me. And so on my way home last night, I was thinking, okay, what should I work on first? And I think maybe I should make something, storage of some sort for my ink pads, because the way I'm storing them now takes up quite a bit of space. And so when I got home, I was like, okay, it's kind of dark. I'll just think about how I'm going to go about that, and I'll just watch some of my friends on YouTube and see what they're up to. And I swear, so I have a friend named Patty. Her channel is called Checkmate, and she happened to be the first thing that popped up into my feed when I opened YouTube last night after I got home. And don't you know, that's exactly what she was making, is a little box to hold her ink pads and her daubers. And I commented, I was like, OMG, I can't believe this is exactly what I was thinking about making myself. So that video is going to be filmed sometime this week. Because I really don't have enough room on this desk, which my desk is actually a door that is held up by 4 filing cabinets. They have 3 drawers, so the very top drawer is like the pencil drawer, and then the other 2 drawers underneath those are file folder holders. They hold legal size, or not, they don't hold legal size, they only hold letter size. And that's where I keep my hand-dyed paper. So, but I have so much stuff on this desk. It's just, I told my husband, I have these stands. Actually, I don't know why I did it that way. It's easier for me to cut it from this side. I have these 2 stands on my desk that do take up quite a bit of room. And I told my husband what I need to do is make like a slanted shelf for one of them, so I could, like all my pens and scissors and stuff are in coffee mugs. And so if I had a shelf that slanted, I could keep them this way on that shelf inside that little unit thing, and then I would have a little bit more room on my desk. So he said we were going to do that this past weekend, but we ended up going shopping. And not that I really need anything else, because Lord knows I have enough stuff in this craft room. But I've been seeing a lot of hauls on YouTube for Ollie's, which is an outlet discount store. And so I Googled it, and we happen to have one in my area a couple of towns over. And I don't know, it's like 35, 40 minutes. And so I was all excited because I'm seeing all these great hauls from Ollie on channels that I've never seen before. And I thought that I would go up there and be able to find some really cool stuff and do an Ollie haul for you. And I went there, y'all, and I'm so disappointed. Like, that store, I can't say it was necessarily extremely dirty, but it definitely could use some elbow grease in it. But there was just stuff all in the aisles, not put away, and couldn't find anything. And I couldn't, like, as a matter of fact, one of the videos that I saw, it was either last night or this morning, and it was just their thumbnail picture that I saw. And that thumbnail picture showed a machine that I think looked kind of like an embossing, like a Sizzix Big Shot or something, or whatever. I know that there's more than just that brand, but I'm not sure exactly what it was, but I'm like, there was not that kind of stuff in the store that I went to. Just, I don't know, I was extremely disappointed, and I told my husband the only reason I would go back to that particular location is because I don't really eat a lot of cereal, but I found some Frosted Flakes, cinnamon flavored Frosted Flakes, and I can't find them in my immediate grocery stores. What I'm doing is just flattening these out with my jewelry pliers because this fabric is a little bit thicker, and I want to make sure that the paper is going to lay flat on that. So I squish it with that. But yeah, y'all, I was so disappointed. And then we went to the Dollar Tree because it was right in the same shopping center. And only when I got home and I was putting my stuff away did I realize I bought these clear acrylic bins that have a lid on them, and the sticker on top clearly said $1.25, and they charged me $1.50 for it. And is it really worth it to bring them all back and say, hey, you charged me too much? Because all told, I bought 4, so it's $1, right? It'll definitely cost me more than $1 to drive all the way back up there just to get my $1 plus tax back. You know what I mean? Not really worth it. So I guess I need to pay more attention. But I guess I wasn't really paying attention when she rang me up because there was only one person working. At least that's what it looked like. And when I got in line, there was like 4 people ahead of me, and there was like 5 people behind me. So it was pretty busy. So no better for next time, because there actually is a video out there about this woman who sued Dollar General for doing just that. Okay, so it's not really directional, but I like it better this way, right? Yeah, I like it better that way. Okay, so then, and I tear these at the same time to make sure, right? Because this assembly, so when I made the first 15 out of the paper, I was trying to figure out the best way to go about making these in an assembly line order, and it took me the whole of making 15 of them to get a better assembly line system going. So I cut all the chipboard first, and then I got all the fabric ready, and then I cut all the paper and got ready. So I number all of my journals, and so that's all ready to go. And I print out, this journal belongs to little cards on coffee dyed cardstock. I get all those ready, and I found it just makes it so much easier. So the 15 that I made with fabric took me about 4 days, and these 18 here, so I did 17 first, but I did all the prepping for this last one because I wanted to do this one on camera with you. All told, this took me 2 days, not all those, not counting this one here. So my assembly line, I guess I got a better idea at it. Okay, and so I always take my thumbnails and push them in that groove to bend it over, just to make sure that the glue got in there really good, and to make sure that it's going to open and close properly. So there we go. I found this fabric. What did I say? That's going to be the front. Okay. So this is going to be for this piece here. And so, let's see. Yeah, it's got to go that way. And I put this on here just so I can see approximately where I need to tear. And also, if you are new to junk journaling, if you tear paper towards you, you're going to get this white edge here. But if you tear it away from you, it's going to be a cleaner edge. If that makes a difference to you. And I'm going to keep this little scrap here because the 15 that I made a little scrappy notepad. But I had, with those, since I used painty papers, I had some painty papers left over that I used. But I have a whole drawer full of stuff. Okay, so that's going to go like that. And I don't normally use glue stick, but I do have this here just so I can make sure that this is going to stay in place. I'm not sewing these. These here I am, okay, I have this little thing here to let me know that this is what I want my front cover to be. And see, I got all these things ready. I even threaded my needle. Okay, oh, I don't need those. And then my little mini brads. So this isn't precise here, but I'm just kind of eyeballing to make sure that these brads are going to be kind of in the center. It really doesn't matter, but I just want to make sure that they're going to be in the same line at least, so that it doesn't look wonky. Yeah, but I was so stoked that my friend Patty was making the same thing that I was thinking about all weekend, because I'm trying to I don't know, let me see if I can get you a view here. One of these days I'm gonna, so this is a shelf. I got stuff up top here, and then there's a drawer down here, which is where I keep all of my ink, and then all this stuff, right? It's just stuff. And I'm having a hard time with storage. So let me make sure I put that back. Okay. Yeah. And I have that same exact stand over here on my left. And it's not very practical because I can't, like, I think I need to put some regular shelves on the other one because the other one holds all my stamps that are on wooden blocks. And it doesn't really give me enough storage. Like, the drawer is full and I want to keep it in one layer so I can see without having to dig what all those layers are going to, I mean, I keep them all in one layer so I don't have to dig through. You know what I'm talking about. Apparently I can't talk today. It might as well be Monday. Okay. And I did not use these, See, I can't talk today. I did not ink around the edges on these, on any of them. And I don't even know why. I guess because the prototypes, there was not ink on those. Except on the front cover that says journal and my logos, or not even a logo, the stamp that I use that's got my name and my business name on it. I prep those ahead of time so I don't have to stop what I'm doing for each single one, right? So I prep all these numbers. I prepped I prepped 18 of them for this set. I prepped 15 for the other set automatically before I started. And then I stamped a couple other numbers above that just to make sure that I know what number I'm on. Because I had some stamped out already. And I've been trying to rearrange my studio here, I don't know, forever. It seems like forever and ever. And I can't find, I have not found I don't know. I haven't found a flow that works well for me yet. You know what I mean? I actually should have put this one over here because it's a little bit darker, but it's too late now. Okay, where is my, here it is. Okay, and then that's going to go right there. And I'm sure y'all have seen a 3-hole pamphlet stitch before, but I will do one on camera and then I'll pause it and then I'll do the other one off camera. Why does that look a little crooked? Or not crooked, it looks longer. And I cut them all at the same time. Okay, so then I just fold that up. You can see that this is not straight, but it's really not going to matter, right? Because we don't make junk journals to be perfect. So I do have a template. And what I do with these is, oh yeah, okay. I had to think about that because this one only has 2 holes in it, and normally I always make all my journals with three signatures because it just makes it easier for me. Is this the right one? No. Okay. This is the right one. Okay, good thing I didn't poke that down too hard. Okay. Yeah, I have a couple of these templates for different sizes, and I keep them until the holes get too wonky for me to really determine where the hole is supposed to be so they stay even. Okay, so yeah, that's my top. And we're going to put this back here. And then we don't need that. So this is the easiest. Oh, and look, I did already prep those. See? That's a assembly line at its best for you, right? Okay, so we can put this one aside for now. And then I've already threaded my first one here. And so also when I posted my video on the 15 painty paper fabric one, my friend Hazel commented and asked me about the embroidery floss, because I generally use embroidery floss more than I use waxed thread. And that's just preference. I don't really care for the waxed thread. It gobs up the eye of the needle, and it doesn't really seem to go in any, this is my needle threader. It doesn't seem to go in any easier than embroidery floss. At least not in my opinion. And then also with the embroidery floss, I get to choose a color that either matches or contrast with whatever fabric or paper that I happen to be using. Okay, so I'm just gonna poke that in there and then make the paper flat, because I found that's the easiest. Make sure that you don't pierce your thread. Okay, now we can take this off. Make sure that your thread is on either side of your center, and then pull tight. Always flip it over. Make sure that you have all of your thread in the right holes, because I actually I need to find my black tweezers. I don't like these. I don't know what I did with it, and I just interrupted myself, so I have no idea what I was talking about. Don't you hate that? Okay. And I don't have enough boxes to put those in. I had to order some, so they will be in, I think, tomorrow. Okay. So that's that one. And then I'm just gonna pause the camera real quick so I can get this one in there, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I do remember what I was saying. So when Hazel left me a comment on my page, or under that video, she asked me if I had any issues with the embroidery floss breaking. I think breaking and something. I forget what she said exactly, but I haven't. And I think the reason why is because embroidery floss, I use, it comes in 6 strands, and I use all 6 strands, so I don't take them apart to use individuals or even cut it in half, because this way it's thicker. But so far, all of my sales have been local. Can't tie this stupid knot. And I haven't had anyone call me up and say, hey, my binding broke. Can you fix it? You know? So I'm just gonna use my bone folder to flatten that out a little bit. And then this piece here, I think I'm gonna get a new stamp for my, I need a new logo, because this one here, when I got it, it's actually crooked in the thing. And so that's why I tear them out and put them on there, because otherwise it's gonna be sitting crooked when I punch it down. Okay, and then This here goes in the front. Make sure that I'm going to make it a pocket, so make sure that you're putting glue on the right side. I say that from experience. Okay, there we go. I hope you enjoyed this little video. I am going to actually have some admin stuff that I need to do. And hopefully I'll be able to get another video out soon, because I actually need to, I'm in 2 collaborations and I need to get my stuff together for that. So I already have an idea of what I'm going to do for the 12 by 12 Junk Journal Challenge 2025. That collab is hosted by Dawn over at Scrapbook Sage. So there you go. I hope everyone's having a crafty day, and I'll see you soon.